In this tutorial, we'll cover how to apply hatching in AutoCAD. So here I have my cabin, I have my doors and windows and dimensions, and I have two elevations, my front elevation and my right side. So let's select this front elevation and put some brick on it. So in order to do this, I'm going to use the hatch command. In order for this to work properly, all of my lines have to be connecting. I have to have a closed area in which to work. So sometimes I might need to go and check my corners like this one. So I have a small gap. So I'll get an error message that it can't find a closed boundary. So let me go ahead and fix that. I'm going to click Fillet here and here. Now I think I'm ready to begin. So I'm going to go to my hatch command. And the first thing I like to do is select my pattern. So you notice you can scroll down, there's all kinds of patterns that are already preloaded into AutoCAD. In fact, you can go online and you can download different patterns as well. So I want to use brick, and you notice there's a couple of different bricks that you see through here. I want to select Architectural Brick Standard. So I'm going to select Brick Standard, and I'm going to hover over where I want it. And I already made a new layer for my pattern, so I'm going to select here. And it doesn't matter where you select, because what we want to do is we want to set the origin point. So in order for this to display properly, I would put my origin right at the bottom and in the middle. What this is going to do is it's going to start with a full brick at the bottom, and they're going to be equally spaced on both sides, just the way I would have it in real life. So I'm going to select this midpoint. As soon as I do this, you'll notice that the pattern changes slightly. So now I start with a full brick, and they're equally spaced left and right. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to select Close Hatch Creation. And that one looks good. Let me go over to my right side elevation, and I'll show you how to do two hatches on this one. Let's do siding on this side, and we'll do some shingles. So I'm going to go to Hatch. And for shingles, I like to use the Architectural Roof Shakes. Now they have some other roofing, but I think this one looks nice, and it's easy to see. Select my roof shakes. I'm going to set it in here. I'm going to set my origin. Again, you notice it doesn't start with a full shingle here at the bottom. I'm going to set my origin to be in the middle. That cleans that up. And if I wanted to change the scale, I simply do that here. So I could do 0.5 and enter. That makes it really busy. I'm going to leave it at 1 for right now. I could also change the angle if I wished. So if I want to do 50 degrees, I'm going to leave that at 0. And you can also use this slider as well as type in a number. So I'm going to go ahead and click Close. And I like to do them one at a time. If I put brick on all of my surfaces at once and I click Close, then what happens if I need to edit something, it's going to be based on the one that I'm editing. So if I set my origin here, it's going to affect something over here. So I always like to close out and then redo a hatch. So the one for the siding is just slightly different. So I'm going to select Hatch, and I want to go all the way down to the bottom and select User Defined. User Defined is just a series of horizontal lines. So I'm going to select User Defined. And the spacing is important. So right now it defaults to 1 inch. So if I hover over this area, you can see that's extremely busy. I want it to be the same as I would see with vinyl siding. So let's say 4 inches. So when I come down here, that looks good. And again, I want to set my origin at the bottom. I'd adjust it just slightly and close my hatch. So there, in just a few minutes, I was able to put brick, siding, and shingles in my drawing.